Welcome to the Share Your Rise podcast, where every person has an untold story to tell. I'm Katie.
I'm Bree. Join us as we explore the inspiring stories of individuals from all walks of life, uncovering the challenges they've overcome and the victories they've achieved.
Get ready to be inspired, motivated, and empowered to share your own rise.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Share Your Rise podcast. We are here in our studio this afternoon with Nicole Carpenter, who is the owner of FXB Grimes, where Katie and I have been working on our 10-week challenge there, and we have 1 week left.
Yay!
It's crazy how quickly it's gone.
Right?
I feel like my favorite part is the accountability, but also I love that I can work out barefoot.
Ooh, yeah.
That's really cool. And I love that I am feeling and seeing the changes in my body. So welcome to our podcast, Nicole.
Thank you, ladies, for having me. I appreciate getting this opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is exciting. So have you ever been on a podcast before? What do you think about our studio?
Yeah. So I have been on a podcast before. Maybe late last year was the first time I had been on one. And I love your guys' studio. I love the bright colors and it's beautiful.
Yeah. So, the whole thing about Share Your Rise is that we kind of want to talk about, your upbringing and kind of your roots, who made you who you are today. Like Bree introduced you, you are the owner of FXB Grimes. We actually got to know you years before we did this 10-week challenge, believe it or not. And I've really noticed a lot of changes and successes with what you're doing with FXB Grimes. So I definitely want to highlight on that. And I know you're also, being a health coach, being certified for that, and you're going on that journey. So I want to highlight all that. But before we kind of dive in, tell us a little bit about your upbringing. Like, where were you born and raised?
Yeah. So I was born and raised on a farm in Northwest Iowa, alongside my parents, siblings, and in a small community. So that's where it all started.
Okay, exciting. So how many brothers and sisters?
So I have 3 sisters and 1 brother.
Okay. And so are you the oldest?
Yes, I am the oldest. That is right. Yep. And my brother is the youngest. So 4 girls and then a boy. Yep.
Exciting.
Yeah.
So how was that growing up with all of those younger siblings?
Yeah, I mean, it was a lot of things going on all the time, of course, but it was fun. It was like having, friends over all the time, like they were always there. I would definitely say that they would consider me the bossy one, but
the oldest.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I can relate to that. I'm the oldest of mine, and absolutely.
Yeah. But you kind of got to take charge when you're the oldest.
Yep. Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting because actually that's kind of what you do now at FXB, right? You like to take charge, be a leader. When do you remember being into fitness? Were you always into some type of sport?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, growing up in a small community, there's obviously opportunities everywhere, but that was kind of the thing. Yeah, I was definitely very active. Both my parents grew up being pretty active, and so they definitely instilled that into us. And so, yeah, I definitely played the sports and was active.
Did you have a favorite sport growing up?
Honestly, I played most of them. I don't know. My dad was very passionate about basketball, and so I would probably say basketball was my favorite to play. But
did you like shoot hoops in the driveway with your dad and have those memories?
Yeah, we didn't so much have a driveway living on the farm, but in the Morton building, set up a basketball hoop.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so yeah.
So I was very heavy in the sports and activities and athletics.
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome.
Yep, like to be active.
So tell us about your leadership. So do you remember sometime in school, did you ever take leadership roles, like what made you want to just continue to be a leader?
Yeah, I think just, growing up being the oldest of, 5, kind of naturally put me in the position to be a leader.
Yeah.
And then I guess, I don't know, I think just showing other people what is possible. I guess that is definitely something that is passionate, is a passion of mine, is just, showing and guiding and supporting others to be their best self. So I guess like going back to your question, I was, obviously active in sports, but also active in FFA and 4-H and, all the different things. I mean, my first job outside of working on the farm was a lifeguard. And it was a private pool that, we kind of just got to be a little bit of you're part of a team, which is definitely something that I have been part of my whole life, I mean.
Right.
And so I think just being on a team, like, just makes you want to, I don't know, lead and show others the way. So,
right. And I mean, FXB Grimes, for those that don't know, is fitness. What do we call it?
Yeah. So group fitness.
Group fitness.
Yeah. Yep.
And so that's kind of, with what you're talking about right now is like, showing that accountability. Like, it's not like just walking in the gym and having to be alone. You get to be around others, which just helps motivate.
Yeah.
What are some of the biggest successes that you've seen since you've led FXB Grimes?
Honestly, the biggest things are just like seeing, I mean, we have amazing instructors at our gym, as you ladies know.
Absolutely.
And I mean, this is just a part-time, a passion of theirs, and that's why they get up there.
And and it's cool to see more and more people developing those skills
Yes.
of being, the coaches.
Yeah, because honestly, I mean, our instructors and coaches, they come from being members
Right.
first.
It's just a testament to the community that you've built there.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess like seeing, those people get up and, people making changes over, whether that's over their 10 weeks and beyond. I mean, it's pretty cool to see people make those transformations for themselves and then just being alongside them to support them as they do that.
Right. So that has to be super satisfying to help kind of through that transformation. I've done a couple different 10-week challenges. I don't know if it gets easier or harder. It really depends where you are in life. But I remember starting a 10-week challenge when I had just had my second child, Noah. Yeah. And for whatever reason, it was really, really hard, like emotionally hard. Yeah. Like I was like crying to my coach. And I think at that time, actually, Tiffany was my coach. Yeah. So that's why she's still in my phone. It says Coach Tiffany. Oh, yeah. But I mean, like, is there any specific stories that kind of, just highlight for you than others that just are like, I'm doing the right thing. I really enjoy what I'm doing because I'm helping.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, growing up, my parents are, definitely led the way and kind of shaping, the person that I am today. Obviously I continue to grow and evolve and all the things, but my dad really showed me the value of hard work.
Yeah.
But even discipline. And just consistency, growing up on a farm, you got to show up, right? Like you don't get days off there. So
right.
That's definitely been helpful. And then my mom, she definitely taught me how to first love myself,
right?
But love others as well, and just be compassionate towards others. Everybody's at a different place at a different time, like you mentioned, Katie.
Yeah.
Like, doing a couple different 10-week challenges at different phases in your life. So just showing people compassion and caring for others too.
Yep. Empathy is a huge part of it because like you said, everybody's showing up at a different place in life. I love that. I love that you're available for that and that you see that in people. Yeah. And you've been so encouraging along the way. I was giving the little messages here and there. Hey, where were you today? You coming? Like, that's helpful with the accountability piece.
Yeah. And that's what's important is the community that is at FXB Grimes. It isn't just me by any means. Like It is the community as a whole between our instructors, our staff, our coaches, our members, and then just people that walk through those doors. They're the ones that are, shaping the community.
Yeah, no, that's true. But like, the one thing about leadership is it starts by the leader and then it kind of cascades down to others because, I've been a part of FXB Grimes before you were there. Yeah. So I've seen different owners or whoever they were. Maybe I didn't even see the owner, but it was like the person that was always hanging out. Yeah. And when you came in, it was just like, you could tell, like, supplements became really, really important. You started to see these same instructors again and again and again. So it's just kind of a testimony to like your leadership, because it does matter. Yeah. That's kind of the thing, like me and Brie at Sylvan, it's like us being around matters, right?
Yes,
Like if
yeah.
we're
Being
absent,
present,
to be
yes.
present,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I don't know, like your hard work at the farm, I can see that kind of explains how you're able to get up for the 4 a.m. classes.
3:30 every morning,
Oh,
right?
not every morning. No, we have, I mean, I only go to 4 a.m. every once in a while, to be honest. I mean, we have that 4 a.m. crew is amazing.
Yeah.
They're knocking on the door at 3:30 in the morning for sure.
Hey, come on, we're ready to
Yeah.
go.
Yeah,
Right, right.
Yeah.
I know. And that was one of the classes Bree and I definitely, I mean, it's not too late, Bree.
Right,
It's
right.
still on our list. We
We got time.
because it's a totally different culture.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
I mean, those people get up that early because, I mean, that's the time that they can work out. And so instead of, making the excuse or having that reason to not, they get up at, 3 o'clock in the morning and are
Right.
ready to roll for the
Right.
4 o'clock class. Yeah.
Right.
And again, just a testament to show the culture that you've built there. Like they have, you have created the space for people to come in and build their own culture in their own community. And
Yes.
it's really cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Like, and that's kind of the thing that I'm thinking is like, it's not too late, so maybe we can make it do like a 4 a.m., a 5 a.m. We started at the 6 a.m.
Yep.
You notice that we kind of waned off of
Yeah.
that.
Well, I mean, you talk about the differences in seasons of life. Like summer
Yes.
comes, and at what we do with summer tutoring, it just the whole dynamic of when our availability and our scheduling just completely shifts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got to make it to the 4 a.m.
But that's kind of like what I do enjoy about, just talking about the different cultures at the different times, because, a 9:15 can be similar to a 4:45, and you kind of see the same different instructors. But everybody is so welcoming and nice. And so, I don't know, like me and Brie are talking about after our 10 weeks, like that's what we're going to miss the most,
Yeah. But honestly, that's what really shapes like each and every class time is a little bit different. But that's because, people are showing up at different phases in their life. And, people that get up early in the morning, that's when they can be there, And
Right.
so I guess like that's kind of the cool thing about, and for you ladies too, you've been able to bounce around and try some different times. And that's what's pretty cool about our program.
Yeah, the
too.
flexibility. And it's all about the consistency and the flexibility.
Yeah.
And it's nice that you have those options. Tell us a little bit. I mean, we talked a little bit about the 10-week challenge. So take a minute and just kind of explain what that is and what it can do for someone, that's in the challenge.
Yeah. So, I mean, honestly, like you girls know, I mean, at our gym, like the main things that we're trying to focus on right now is being consistent. So, showing up for yourself, fueling up, and bringing the energy. Those are the main like values that we are wanting to put onto our people that show up through those doors. But I mean, in a 10-week challenge, it gives you the opportunity to take that leap and start doing something for yourself. And that's where we like to meet people where they are, because everybody is at a different phase in life, a different season of the year and time for them, when maybe it's busy for you guys now, and now teachers are a little bit more free. So just kind of meeting people like where they are. But going through the 10-week challenge gives you the opportunity to take each week by week, making those steps in the right direction. And everybody has a different level of, when they notice changes, right? You girls did, the testing at the 5 weeks and, saw results.
Yes.
And, that's definitely something that we want to put belief into people, that they can get the results that they desire,
Right.
because everybody is there for different reasons, right? So.
Yeah. Well, and that's one of the things I've noticed with your leadership there is that you allow people to do something that Bree has taken advantage of a few times, which is the accountability.
Yeah.
Right. So you do the perfect attendance.
Yeah.
That's really important. Like in the past, when I've done 10-week challenges, again, different phases of my life. I mean, there was the one time I did it, and it was when you always saw Kelly around. It was like, I don't remember if you guys had owned it by then or not. But anyways, it was like, for whatever reason, I was able to make every single class.
Yeah.
And I was so excited. It was
Yeah.
that was like a huge commitment for me. And it was the 6 a.m. that I did. But that then there was someone else and I couldn't make it every time because of something else in my life that was just like, I wanted to do it, but I didn't want to feel bad if I didn't.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that I love about what you do with the accountability is because we don't have to feel bad if we don't make it.
Yeah.
Just you're telling people do 30 minutes of just moving around and then document that and then you'll get accountability. And so then you look at your sheet and you're like, okay. Like,
yeah, you're still showing up for yourself. Yeah, that's definitely something that we've pivoted to over the years, I guess. I mean, I think, back in, the day, it was like, you have to show up for this, and this, to get the perfect attendance. But we've noticed over the last several years is that allowing people to get that accountability attendance. So just moving your body, as outside of the gym for just 30 minutes. And that can be anything from walking, running, push-ups, sit-ups, squats. I mean, you can do those things anywhere. So just making that time for yourself to move your body. And so, giving people that accountability attendance, still shows up on your card and you still get the stickers and
Yes, exactly. And then you're still kind of doing that consistency piece too.
Yeah, well, staying consistent.
And like you said, it's all about showing up for yourself. Yeah. That's what it's about. Yeah. So the accountability helps with that. But isn't it true that it takes like 7 weeks to build a new habit? Is that right?
I always lose that, like what the count is.
Well, I felt like once I got to that 7 weeks, it just becomes routine, right? So it's like, okay, I'm in this momentum now. I'm feeling good about myself.
Yeah.
I'm seeing the results. And I think, honestly, that one part of the accountability for me has just been, we are documenting this. And so I got to show up. We got to show up and do it.
That helps.
But it's been really neat to see how my form has improved and how my muscle mass has improved during that time. But also just that consistency piece.
Or like your mindset. You're talking
and the mindset.
About like, if you have to miss the workout, you're still moving your body for that.
Absolutely.
30 minutes.
Yeah. So it's super, super helpful. Yeah. I'm glad I'm enjoying it.
So tell us a little bit about your health coach and why you wanted to kind of go down that path.
Yeah. I mean, I have been in corporate America for over 20 years. And while I love it and feel very blessed to have worked for a great company, health has really definitely been a passion of mine. Obviously, having the gym is obviously helpful as well, but just helping support other people in their journeys and just getting, I think knowledge is power and I just love to learn. And so, I decided at the end of last year that I wanted to take advantage of, dialing that in a little bit more. I had found something on my phone just like a couple weeks ago that I had saved something about getting certified to be a health coach in 2021 or something like that.
Right.
And so I was like, oh my gosh, that's great. Now I actually am. I actually took the step and actually did it. And so,
Oh my gosh. So you started in 2021 or is that kind of when the idea was introduced to you?
I just found a screenshot that I must have saved about a health coaching program. And so I just had recently just saw that and I was like, oh, that's funny. Like
that's cool.
Obviously had been thinking about it. But, health and wellness has definitely been something I've always had passion about. I mean, I've, as a young child, right, moving my body all the time, and, going through, high school and college and, becoming an adult, living on my own and all the things. Like, I've enjoyed moving my body. And I think just...
Well, it helps you feel connected to yourself. Yeah. And your mind too. Like I love being able to just zone out during kickboxing. I don't have to think about it. Yeah. I'm just going to listen and do what they say. And it gives me a chance to just clear your brain. So it's so good mentally too.
Yeah. Nicole, we were talking about your passion of wellness and, back in 2021, you had thought of wanting to be a health coach and then you decided, was it last year?
Yeah, the end of last year.
The end of 2025 to actually do that. Yep. And then last Thursday you...
Yeah, I officially, passed the class and I'm officially a health
Congratulations.
Coach. Yeah.
So did you get like a certificate framed in your office?
Yeah. So the graduation technically happens in a couple weeks. So
so they have a ceremony for you.
Yeah. Well, it's online. It's all online. But yes, yep. And so you had to finish the class actually on May 22nd, which was my birthday. And then then you had a week to prep to take the test. And then you have 3 weeks to take the test. And I took it on the third day because I just wanted to,
I am so proud of you. That's just amazing because, I mean, again, like way back when, I remember sitting there and talking to you about certain challenges that I had. And it was another thing that you incorporated at FXB Grimes. You actually cleared that back room, made yourself a desk. And I just remember being able to sit there with you and actually talk about some goals. So it's really awesome to hear that you took that motivation and that next step.
Yeah.
And now you're officially a health coach.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just been a really eye-opening in the sense of like I talked before about, maybe being a little bit bossy and, but it's really allowed me to, see the other sides of people, because during the program, I had clients that I worked with, and, those were things that you would get graded on. But just honestly, like letting people, everybody has something inside of them. And that's what health coaching is letting that shine for them. Not me telling you do this, 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 and this.
So true. Yeah.
But letting them kind of, bring out the best in themselves.
Sometimes the word coach can get, because I'm also a certified life coach, but sometimes the word coach can be a little misleading.
Yes.
So it's more about opening up the avenue for people to do their own journey and you like guiding them along the way, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And when we think of like a sports coach, like a high school football coach, you're thinking about drills and like being told what to do, but it's not like that at all.
It isn't. Yeah, just helping people find the empowerment inside themselves and using that, because we all have, backgrounds, and like you girls talk about like sharing your rise, like we all came from somewhere and we're all going somewhere. So everybody's just at a different stage, and kind of, there's so many things that are happening all the time that, are roadblocks or different stages of life that, but yeah, just meeting people where they are and letting them find that light inside themselves to move forward. Because I've definitely over the years, it's like, man, I see so much potential in somebody, but if they're not willing to do it themselves, I can't make them. I can't, so I have to like.
You can figure out the accountability pieces and try to help them keep accountable, but you can't make them do it.
Yeah, but ultimately, it is.
So how are you kind of incorporating, or how do you see yourself incorporating your health coach skills and your that part of things into FXB Grimes?
Yeah, honestly, I'm still trying to like fully navigate what that looks like, because for several years I've been doing it to some extent.
Yes.
But just utilizing some of the skills that I've learned and some of the knowledge that I've gained to just continue to do what I'm doing. Honestly, like I love helping people and empowering them to move towards what results that they desire. So I think just keep plugging away at that and just kind of, maybe redefining it a little bit along the way as I have been already. But just, so that's kind of my goal so far. Obviously there's ways to like build and grow from that eventually, but yeah.
Yeah, I totally can see that. It's an easy, natural fit with what you're doing at FXB Grimes already. Yeah. So I think it will just take a natural, organic, intro into what you're already doing. Yeah. With the supplements and stuff too.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it'll be really cool to see how it evolves for you.
Exactly.
Opens so many more doors for you guys.
For sure.
So absolutely.
So that being said, what is we always like to talk about legacy, and it does sound like a big word, but at the same time, we're also at that time in our life, like early 40s, and we start to kind of think like, what do I want my footprint to be here on earth? Like, what do I want to motivate other people to do? You're already doing it on a day-to-day basis, but when you think about what you want to do 5 years from now, kind of like in 2022, when you saw that you wanted to be a health coach, and now here you are a health coach. What's the next steps are you thinking?
Honestly, I think just every single day you have to get at least 1% better, right? Like that's kind of what I always like to think about, is like just getting better every single day.
Yes.
But honestly, just if I can take care of myself, then I find that then I can be there to help others, take care of themselves. And that's, kind of ultimately, my goal is that as long as I, can show up for myself and be consistent myself, that I can support others along the way.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I love that. And continue to be a leader, right? And then people look at you like, okay, if Nicole can do it, I can do it too.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
So there's definitely somebody out there watching who's like might be stuck or struggling a little bit. And obviously you have lots of great experience coaching people and guiding people. So what would you say to them if they're on the verge of something, but they just don't know how to get over that hump?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, just look inside yourself and like, what is it that you ultimately want? Because we all are capable, right? I mean, you know, somebody isn't going to do it for you, that you ultimately have to take that step. And those steps can be small, right? It doesn't have to be like all of a sudden, like you're going from, never moving your body to, doing, I don't know, marathon or, any of those, running a kickboxing class, you have to just start somewhere.
Yeah.
That first step.
Yes.
Right?
First step. So whether that is just start moving, walk. I mean, it's a nice time of year right here in Iowa. So like just get outside and walk, move your body. So, find, with your kids or a friend or just even by yourself, put in your favorite podcast, right?
That accountability,
exactly.
that accountability,
I love that.
The accountability partner, small steps, just take that first step and build from there. I love that. That's so true. That's so true for health and fitness, but it's so true for anything. Honestly, that's great advice for any big adventure out there that someone feels like they want.
Well, it kind of reminds me of what I said when we were on the break, and it's one of those things I always go to is like a body in motion stays in motion. So when you do that first step, when you're tired, you do the second step, you start to get that energy and the oxygen is flowing and your mind starts to change. You put on a song maybe on your earbuds and all of a sudden it's like, oh, okay, I'm feeling good. I can do much more than I thought I was going to be able to do. So just taking that first step is literally the hardest thing. And I think that's some of what I love when we're doing our classes is some of the coaches, that's often what you hear, right?
Yep.
Like you're here. That was the hardest thing.
Yes.
Now just work through it.
Yeah.
It's so true.
Yeah. And ultimately, I think it comes down to, like we talked, is like being consistent, like showing up for yourself and whatever that looks like, right? Showing up for yourself can mean lots of different things, and fueling up, right? And that doesn't just have to do with food or supplements or anything like that, but just like giving yourself that fuel to take that next step or, whatever that might be. And then I always like bringing the energy because, like your mindset is definitely going to come into play. So even on those hard days, right? Because trust me, my alarm doesn't go off at 4:05 and I'm like, here, it's like you got to make that choice to bring that energy and
put your feet on the ground, stand up and go. Yeah. Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Nicole, for being with us today and so much for the motivation that you've given us and that accountability piece. Super enjoyed the process of the 10-week challenge, and I definitely encourage other people to give it a try. Yeah. So thank you so much for being with us today.
Well, thank you, girls. And,
thank you, Nicole.
After your 10-week challenge, it doesn't end there, right?
Absolutely.
So, so we look forward to you girls being members after that as well.
Always come back after all these years. For sure.
Awesome.
Thanks, Nicole.
Thanks so much.
Thank you, girls.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of the Share Your Rise podcast.
We hope you're leaving inspired and empowered to share your own journey.
Until next time, keep rising, keep thriving, and remember, your story matters.
This podcast is produced by Elevado Worldwide. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this episode. Be sure to head to elevadoworldwide.com for more great content.